What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Wrath2501 here. Alright, guys, so we got the Warhammer part of Double Feature Friday. As you can see, we are still in the back rooms. Alright, so, and we'll get some more backgrounds later. So, let me know if you think these are interesting. Alright, so, excuse me. So this is from Major Kilt, and this is 5 absolute worst planets to live on in Warhammer 40k. So I thought that seemed interesting. Alright, so let's see what he's got for us here. Ow, itch. Alright, and go.
Over the 5 worst planets to live on in 40k. I want to be clear that these 5 worlds can and are being lived on. I'm not going to include some like big ass volcano planet that has no atmosphere where you just get burnt and liquefied instantly. Let's get into it.
Catachan, Earth, Kamara.
I want to make it clear that there are a shitload of terrible planets to live on, so it was hard to narrow it down for this video, but I did it because I like making videos. The first one is a fan favourite, Catachan, aka the pussy version of Australia. It's unclear what kind of fucked up force evolution caused Catachan to become a hyper-deadly jungle world where everything, down to the smallest insects, non-sentient plants, and microbes, is lethal and wants to kill your ass. But regardless, the first humans that settled in Catachan also went through their own force evolution, as the majority of them died horribly. Only the strongest survived and went on to breed strong children, and so on. Eventually, Catachan babies were coming out of their mums' muscly vaginas with full beards and six-packs. To give some context on what actually lurks within Catachan, the brain leaf is a plant that hooks its roots into your nervous system and controls you like a puppet. The spiker is a plant that shoots a spike at you, and if it hits, will convert your DNA into another spiker plant. The Venus mantrap is exactly what it sounds like, but more deadly, and then there's a whole bunch more equally horrible plants that can kill you. The animals are even worse, with the most fearsome being the Catachan devil, which, combine all the most horrific insects from your nightmares and then make it scarier. Even their cute animals, like the great barking toads, can explode when startled, covering a 1 square kilometer with toxins that kill everything within it. Do not boop the snoot. I haven't even begun talking about
I wish to pet this creature.
all the diseases and bacteria. Yeah, overall a bad time. Now you might think, that's okay, I'll just move into one of the fortress cities and never leave to venture into the jungle. Well, the forest has this malicious sentience and will actively begin sieging Catachan settlements, meaning that once in a while an entire settlement has to pack up and migrate to somewhere safer, meaning you will be at the mercy of the jungle and its predators. It's no wonder why its people look like Rambo on steroids. Well, more steroids. It's no coincidence that the worst worlds produce the best soldiers. After all, if you are hardened from birth and become a tough motherfucker by age 9, then you're probably going to make a good warrior. Mordia is a key example of this. Home of the Meridian Iron Guard. This world is tidally locked, meaning it no longer rotates, hence one half of the world is getting turbo-raped by solar radiation, whilst the other half of the world is turbo-raped by eternal darkness. Everyone lives close to the border, but on the dark side, meaning not a whole lot of vitamin D going around. This breeds a bunch more issues. They struggle to make food. The lack of sun makes everyone depressed and discontent, so there is strict rationing and brutal policing. The Meridian Iron Guard get most of their combat experience killing their own people before going into the galaxy. Since the destruction of Nostramo, the homeworld of the Night Lords, Mordia has the highest suicide rate in the entirety of the Imperium. That's right, out of a million worlds, worlds like Catachan, Krieg, or Terra, Mordia is the winner when it comes to necking itself. The one time Chaos invaded, they were repelled by the Iron Guard, but I really can't put my finger on why they would want to conquer the world in the first place.
Good point.
Not every shit world is in the Imperium. There are many demon worlds in the Eye of Terror that wouldn't be great to live on, at least not until you brace whatever patron god controlled it. However, there is one unique world that sucks more than the rest, the Slaneshi world of Oliensis.
Of course!
This world is actually a giant naked man in the fetal position, but had a breathable atmosphere and you could technically survive by living in his pores and eating his flesh. After all, this world was the homeworld of the Noise Marines and numerous beastmen. What I just described should make it pretty clear why living here would fucking suck. But let me tell you what happened to some loyalist Marines when they tried to purge it. When the Sentinels chapter invaded and clashed with the Noise Marines and beastmen, the planet awoke and consumed everyone. Whilst inside him, the Sentinels couldn't find a way out, and resorted to cannibalism to survive. This corrupted them into a chaos warband called the Corpus Brethren, a planet so bad that when invaded, the invaders became chaotic cannibals. epic. This next one isn't so
Okay.
much a planet than a realm, but fuck you, I make the rules. The Dark Elder realm of Komara. This
Komara, I knew
collection
it.
of cities and chunks
I
of
called
world that
that
have been awkwardly crushed together is an absolutely horrific place to live. From the lowly slave
that's
all the
the
way up
fault
to
of
the
the
mightiest
Dark Elder,
Archon,
though.
everyone is having a shit time. Except maybe Vect, but his life is definitely far from perfect. Let me
Vect.
explain why it's
Only
horrible,
Vect.
even for the elite ruling class who get to rail space coke and fuck bitches all day. Firstly, as a slave, you have no rights, and your fate is decided on the whim of a race of sadistic space elves who literally have to cause suffering to stay alive. As such, you will get raped, tortured, raped while killed, brought back to life, because they can do that, and then the whole process is repeated until you're less than a husk that gets discarded. For a lowly Dark Elder, even though you aren't a slave, you still have to compete like crazy to survive, murdering, stealing, and violating to get the attention of the upper class, so you can hopefully join one of their cabals. At the same time, other Dark Elder are trying to climb the ladder as well, a ladder that may involve killing you. If you don't join a cabal, you won't be able to raid, and if you don't raid, you can't cause suffering, and if you can't cause suffering, you can't keep Slaanesh at bay from gnawing on your soul. For the Archons, you might think things get better, but no, their positions are highly prized, and the only way for people to gain them is by killing the current Archon. Hence, they are constantly paranoid as assassins are trying to murk their ass on the daily.
Suspicious
Rival
censorship.
Archons will also seek to humiliate each other or bring about their downfall, so it's a constant 24/7 paranoid grind to maintain your position and head. The Dark Elder royal family were also killed by Vect, so even being royal means nothing. As for Vect, he might seem like he's enjoying himself. However, with his age, he has to cause a shitload of suffering in order to stay youthful and alive. Whenever there is a disruption, such as demons invading, your rain causing issues, or him getting recently killed and resurrected, it can be a massive fucking drainer. The worst part about Komara is that you can't even kill yourself for the sweet release of death. A suicidal slave can be brought back for more torture, whilst if a Dark Elder dies, they get soul raped by Slaanesh for all of eternity, which sucks way more than Komara, so yeah, just get the fuck out of Komara ASAP. The final absolutely shitty place to live in Warhammer 40k is our very own Earth, or Terra as it's called. Terra is so retardedly overpopulated that it has become one big cesspit. There are quadrillions of people living in this one world, a world that is basically one multi-layered city, with no oceans, nature, native animals, or clean air. The pollution is extreme. If a ship carrying water for the people is delayed by a day or two, which often happens, then millions die of dehydration. Disease is everywhere as everyone lives so close to each other. There are gene stealer cults, chaos cults, Jehovah Witnesses, you know, the worst of the worst kind of shit. The worst part is that your life is
Also,
so
orcs live there
insignificant
too.
on Terra. You are a speck of sand on a beach. Nothing you do matters and no one gives a fuck about you. Whenever anything goes wrong, whether it be a demon invasion, a ship crashing, or just a food or water shipment being late, millions or even billions will die. Which sounds bad, and it is, but it only reduces the world's population by like less than 0.001%. If it wasn't for the Emperor also being on Terra, I'm sure the Earthlings would put
like
the
a
Meridian
quadrillion
suicide
people
rate
living
to
on
shame.
Terra.
In order to stake out a life for yourself or be eligible for food and water rations, you'll need to work in the most un-OHS work conditions imaginable, spending 80% of your life in a dirty factory as you look into the gaunt, glossy eyes of your workmates, seeing your own pathetic reflection in their eyes. Even life for the upper class isn't that amazing. Because they are so populous, none of them are really that important, and they have to look upon a disease husk of a world. The pollution still seeps into their blood and lungs. When the demons of Khorne invaded during the opening of the Great Rift, trillions of people went mad and became bloodthirsty, killing their neighbours and bathing in their blood. With all this chaos, the water and food shipments stopped. As such, there was mass riots and cannibalism. The amount of collateral damage from the Khornite invasion was obscene. Afterwards, Gilliman coordinated a ruthless purge of terror, ridding itself of its taint by slaughtering every form of undesirable. There was even more collateral during this purge, as just being in the wrong place at the wrong time was enough to get incinerated with a flamethrower. So Terra was already fucking shit. Then Khorne came along and made it mega shit. Easily one of the worst places to live in all of 40k.
Okay. So, there you go. That was... I pretty much called all that shit. Except for the, like even said, well, except for a Slash world. And the worst place is the Slash world of course it is. And then I'm like, Kamara, check. Earth, check. You know, Skatachan, check. Dude. Alright, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was kind of predictable. Like this video, subscribe. Definitely subscribe and like Major Kills videos. Link in the description, and I will see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content and more Spooky Month. Remember, put in the comments of any good videos you guys can recommend for Spooky Month. Until next time, guys, bye-bye.